Good morning, guys, and welcome to the Blacklist, the monster hunt within the Witchwood, or Witchwood, aka the Monster Hunt. So, I've already completed all the classes in here, but I'm just running through a guide for you guys. So I'm playing Darius Crowley, the Cannoneer. One of probably my most favourite classes within this solo adventure.
Darius versus a mangy wolf.
Now I'm going to talk a little bit about the cannon on this first one.
I am in position.
And I'm going to show you about positioning and things like that. But mostly this is just going to be me doing a lot of face damage on the first character, because that's what it's about. So we've got the lowly squire, so he's going to be my first port of call. So there we go. You notice how the cannon gets pushed around. So at the moment, the cannon is going to hit the wolf. So what we're going to do is, we're just going to fire off the cannon, buff the lowly squire. Now, he's probably going to go here, if he's smart. No, and he didn't. Wow, okay. So what I'm going to do here is, I'm going to give my cannons extra powder. I'm going to fire this off, buff the lowly squire, and I'm going to put 3 into him. So as you can see, I'm pretty much controlling the board at the moment. So now this has got a 3-3, so he's going to take that out pretty quickly. So what I'm going to do in order... Well, actually, I don't need to do that now. So here comes the abusive sergeant. I'm just going to buff him, full face. That's him taken out. So now we're on to passive treasure time. So what are we looking at? Whenever your weapon is destroyed, a quick round and relevant, not really that good. Crystal Gem is pretty strong, especially if you want to get things like the Frothing Berserker and things like that out. So out of all 3 of these, Crystal Gem and the Entrenchment are probably the ones that I would take without having Dragonfire MOs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take Crystal Gem. So now we're going to have a look. So we've got some Vanguard going on, which is pretty strong. Dragonfire, which I don't really like their cards at all, so I'm going to take some Vanguard. The reason why I'm taking Vanguard is because I'm hoping to build a Berserker deck. And Vanguard can really help protect your Frothing Berserkers and your Koku Riders and things like that, just while you're buffing them up.
Darius versus Satara.
So we've got Lowly Squire and a Bash and a Bloodhoof Brave. So we'll get rid of the Bash and we'll get rid of the Bloodhoof Brave and we'll just keep the Lowly Squire. Because it's always nice to start buffing the lowly squire early. Now, every time you take a card, you take damage. So, we're going to get the lowly squire down. That's not bad for a 7, but I'm going to take another Bloodhoof Brave. So, he also takes 1 damage.
You're not that sharp.
So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to give the extra damage to the cannon. I'm going to take him out, buff him, put 2 in.
You're not in?
He's not put anything down, so we've got an abusive sergeant now. So what we're going to do is we're going to buff with the abusive sergeant. We're also going to fire off the cannon. That's going to take him to 5. So we've got him down to 10 already. So it's looking good at the moment. We're in control. So that's a life steal.
I can't decide.
So I've got a couple of choices here. I could fire off my cannon, which is probably what I'm going to do. So I'm going to fire off my cannon. That hits him. I'm going to put the monkey down. We're going to fire 4 in. We're going to fire another 1 in. And then when he goes to hit that, he will get some life steal, but he's going to get taken out. So he's now back up to 6 and I'm on 4. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to throw the weapon on. I'm then going to fire off my cannon. And that's lethal. So you can see how it's starting to come together. You can see how I put the taunt down to protect. You can see how I put the taunt down to protect the Inspire minion. Sorry about the loss of sound there. Right, okay, so we've got some more Vanguard. Obsidian Destroyer's nice. Ravaging Ghoul. I'm not too fond of the Ravaging Ghoul, if I'm honest. But I think I'm going to have to take it. I'll just try and avoid using them. Oh, Griselda.
Darius versus Griselda.
I am in position.
Oh no, not again!
So it's probably going to be... I'll probably put the Ravaging Ghoul down. So she's probably going to do Witch's Kiss. Do you know what? We'll start off with a weapon. And we'll take him out as well. Yeah, I knew that was going to happen. That's why I wanted to put in the damage early. So we'll just go discover a taunt minion. And we'll take that one. We'll do some extra powder. We'll fire off the cannon. And you can see how moving the cannon around aims at different things. She's going to take this. So I'm now sitting on a 5-5. So we're doing a steady amount of damage at the moment. He's changed his own. She's changed her own minion, which is fantastic. So now at this point, because of where the cannon is, he's only going to hit this one. But I want him to take out both of them. So I need to put a card down that's going to move it over. So I'm just going to do that. I'm then going to fire off my cannon. That gets rid of that. And now what we'll do is we'll put the Cruel Taskmaster down. Buff the monkey. That's 7. And that's taking him down to 8 already. And that's changed that one. He changed the Abusive Sergeant, so... Now this is a bit more of a problem, so I need to get rid of him pretty quickly. Which, unfortunately, I'm probably not going to be able to do here. So, I'm going to put another taunt minion down. I'm going to fire off my cannon, and now I can take him out. So that's it. As easy as that. So, I need to add something else to my game that's going to put some high damage into it. Now, at the moment, I'm obviously just got a lot of taunts. So out of all of these, Pristine Compass is the one that I want. So none of these are fantastic. Dragonfire, I'm not going to go anywhere near. No. No, I don't really like any of these, to be honest. None of these are great. These are all pretty poor cards. So I'm just going to have to go with Strike. I'm actually not drafting anything that I wanted.
Hard I worked to make him mine. Darius versus the
I am
That
in
Deadly
position.
Arsenal is just not that great at all. I've never seen that card before, to be honest with you. So we're just going to keep the extra powder. Not really a great start. Got Cruel Taskmaster there, but I can fire off my cannon, so it's fine. Obsidian Destroyer, not very helpful. I'm just going to fire off my cannons. So he's going to hit me in the face. So what I'm going to do is...
I'll be a real knight.
And I'm just going to buff him. He's not done anything again, which is actually quite nice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the Abusive Sergeant down. I'm going to give my cannon extra powder. And I'm going to fire off my cannon.
We're using real swords.
And then I'm going to put 5 in his face.
The beast is near.
So he's going to look to take this out pretty quickly. So I think what I'm going to do here is... Oh, well, I'll tell you what, I'll bash that anyway.
Back to work.
We're
I'm going to
using
give that 5.
swords.
And I'm going to take him down to 12. I'm going to lose this anyway, that's why I decided to buff him. Yep, there you go. I knew I'd lose him in some way. So, turn 6. So I've got a weapon. I've got a rush minion.
I'm out of mana.
So what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to hit that in there. And I'll hit him. And then hopefully he's going to run into this angry wasp. So he managed to get 1 health back. But it's okay, because next turn, I've got the Obsidian Destroyer, which I'm going to use. So I'm going to put the Obsidian Destroyer down. I'm going to take that down to 9. And he went straight for that. Wow. Hashtag I got played. So he's buffing his health up quite quickly, which I wanted to try and avoid. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to stick that down. I'm going to stick the Bloodhoof Brave down. And I need to get rid of that off the board. That's pretty bad. I didn't want to see that. And I'm going to put another 2 in there. That leaves that on 5, but that takes him out. Wow, he's just played another one. And he's giving it life still. That leaves me very vulnerable. But now that comes into play. I'm kind of struggling here a bit now. Ouch. Ouch. So I'm now losing 8 mana. That makes things a bit easier. It's not looking very good for me at the moment. Nice. I could have done without, like, that just being that. Right, okay. So that takes me down to 10 health, or equip a 3-2 weapon. So I think I'm going to take the bear. That's perfect. So we'll take that. We're going to end turn.
I'm fast and furious!
Ready to grow.
Now that's a sizable attack to have. That's a taunt and divine shield, so I'll take that. Now he's running out of card draw there. So what we're going to do is we're going to stick this taunt and divine shield down, stick the ravaging ball down, and then we'll end the turn there. Now, when he runs into this, it's going to cost him 4. So, yeah.
The beast is near.
I did not want to see that again.
Justice shall prevail.
Job's done.
Now, what I've done by that is, now I've put him on 4, he's going to run straight into this and then die. The boar's going to die as well, and he's literally got no card draw left. So now I can start wearing him down. I'm all out of cards now, so this is going to be a bit of an issue.
It's time for it.
Now, he's going to put that on lifesteal, but that's not going to do him any good. I'm going to take some fatigue damage here, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drop that in, and I'm going to hit him with that. He's got nothing to draw, but I've got more health than him, so this is now lethal.
Job's done.
So I was quite lucky there that I had slightly more health than him. Maybe I could have played that a bit better. I'm not really sure, but it's telling me that I need some more powerful minions in my deck. So we've got some more Vanguard, which isn't really serving us well. Primordial Drake, which I don't like. None of those I like, to be honest. Warcry, draw a card. Battlecry, gain 3 attack this turn. I think I'm going to have to take Warcry. This isn't the deck that I wanted to build, really. If I'm honest, this is not a very good deck at all, but I'll be very surprised if I get through. But this is an 8 out of 8 live run, so I'm not too worried.
Darius versus Saphira.
Because it's always guaranteed, when you do a live run,
In position.
something always goes wrong.
Commands it.
So we'll just put the Ravaging Ghoul down. So I want to try and avoid hitting that. So what I'll do is, because I want to try and avoid hitting that, I'll just put the 3 in, and I'll put the 4 in. Now he's going to hit this, and that's going to set that on fire. Which, again, I wanted to avoid. So what I'm just going to do is fire it off again. just to clean the board. Gain 8 armor, draw 2 cards. Wow, thanks very much. Okay. So I could put the sludge belcher down, which I think I'm going to do. And I'll just put 3 in. I was thinking about a way of cleaning the board and having a minion on there as well, but that's not going to work. But he's now turned this into a 4/4. He's going to run this into there, so I'll be able to take him out. Wow, maybe not. So here's where it becomes a bit more problematic. So I'm going to put on the extra powder,
They grow stronger. Fool.
and I'm going to fire off my cannon. So then that swipes him out. So now I can start tucking back into him again.
I love omelets.
So at the moment, the cannon will only take this one out and it will release a 4/4 Nubian. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fire the cannon off once. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to push the cannon in between those two, buff him, and then fire off the cannon again. No, I don't want to take that out. And then what I'll do is I'll just yeah, we'll go for a pirate. We'll end the turn. I don't need to worry about this guy because he's got 0 attack. So I just need to leave him there. So he's trying to take out this monkey. He's taken 3 to the face, so I'm not quite sure why he done that. So I'm going to stick yet another taunt down on the board. I'm going to bash him.
They're not ready to move out yet.
Let's put 3 in, 4 in, and that's 5 in. So I'm taking him down. So again, I want to try and avoid that. So she's going to hit me again. So now I'm going to put this obsidian destroyer down. So we'll go 3, and then we'll stick another one in there. And then I'll stick the rush minion down. So I've got him down to 16. So now there's 3 taunts on the board. So she can't actually attack at the moment. Now he's going to have Wind Fury. Right, okay, so 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, and with that 15, so I'm 1 short. But where my cannon is, it will hit this. So I'm just going to run that 7 in, run that in, and I'll just run them all in. I don't want to give him another card draw at this stage because he's got to get through all of these. So he can take 2 out, and then he can die, and then he's still got to get through that one, and he's got 0 attack. So there's no point giving him card draw. So I'm just going to end turn there. So he's gone, and that's it. He's done. So my taunts worked for me, but I'm still feeling like I've not really got enough there to keep my deck competitive. So I need something like some frothing berserkers. Now this is where it becomes interesting. So I've already got this one. Whenever you fire your cannons, reduce the costs of cards in your hands by 2. No, sorry, I've got Crystal Gem. So I could either play Victorious Raleigh, which isn't really too powerful, or I could play the Sceptre of Summoning. But I'm going to go for Tactical Reinforcement because I've already got the extra Crystal Gem. So I've now got some Inspire cards. Iron Juggernaut's quite nice, the Lich King's quite nice, and King Mosh is quite nice. These are not that strong, and I especially don't want any Silverhand recruits, so I think I'm going to go for Legends. So this guy, I have fallen down against this guy so many times it is unbelievable.
Versus Grado!
I am in position.
So I know a guy,
My world.
so we'll keep that, and we'll get rid of the other two. So we've got Bash and the Cruel Taskmaster, which is actually pretty good. Extra powder coming out, that's good. So what are we looking at? Taunt and Lifesteal. Or your opponent puts a minion from the deck into the battlefield. Don't really want them doing that. That's a strong card, but you can't use that until turn 10. So I think I'm going to go for a Rusty Recycle. So this is where he tries and encourages me to like put down a minion so he ends up dying. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to bash him. Get him off. He plays a lot of those cards. So I've now got a turn 4. Still nothing I can really play, so I'm just going to get rid of him. And I'm just going to fire off my cannon again. And I'll just do the 1 damage to him. That's worked out really well for me, because all I've got to do is put 1 minion down. Got a slight problem with that though. But what we're going to do is we're going to stick him in the middle there. Going to fire off my cannon, get rid of both of them. That's going to get rid of his own minion. And then I'm going to end turn. So I am not losing any minions here. Now, he's a bit of an issue. So I've got a couple of choices here. I can either put down this 6/5 and put a bomb into his deck, or I can put the Taunt and Lifesteal down on the 2/6. Now he's going to hit this no matter what. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to extra powder and I'm going to fire that off, so then he dies. And then I think what I'm going to do is put this down anyway. And then I'm going to avoid putting this down. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to end turn. I'm going to force him to attack me. Oh, wow. He's brought it out. He's done it.
Secrets.
Okay. So now we're sitting on 7. So I need to push this along.
Back to work.
So I needed to put that shot in there. So I'm going to put a Taunt and Lifesteal down, because he's going to attack one of the... I did not want to see that guy out. So that's produced another bog monster, and that's wiped out all of my minions. So now there's 3 of these bog monsters. So next turn, I can get rid of all these like damaged ones. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fire that off once to damage like 4 of them.
This is not food.
So you can see what happened there. Right, so now there's nothing down there, so I don't need to do what I was going to do. So I'm just going to go end turn. So he's put these back again. So at the moment, I want my cannon staying there, because I just want to take him out. Right, okay. Obsidian Destroyer's only got 3 health, so I don't really want to be using him. So I'm just going to fire off my cannon. I'm going to end turn. There is no reason for me to do anything clever. That is a problem. That needs to go. So he's on 20 at the moment. So this needs to go. So I'm going to put King Mosh... Oh, wait a minute. If I put King Mosh down... Right, okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fire off the cannon. I'm then going to put the Cruel Taskmaster down and take this guy out. Okay, I'm going to put my Ravaging Ghoul down. And then I'm going to put 8 into him. That could be quite strong. That's produced another bog monster, which I did not want. And he's got Frostmourne. So that's going to trigger off that. So what I'm going to do here is, I'm going to fire that. Now I'm going to end my turn. So he actually went and took the 9 face damage. That one surprised me. So he's only sitting on 5 damage here. And he's now armoured up to 8, so he's on 13. So in order to trigger this, I need to push him across. So I'm going to put that down. I'm going to put that down. I'm now going to fire that off. That's going to trigger that. And then I'm going to end my turn. That's going to give me a buffer of that. He's taken another 5 to his face. So that King Mosh I did not want to see. Oh, destroyed the Pristine Compass. That was a bad move. Now, there is a method to my madness why I'm doing this. What I'm basically trying to do is,
Get in there and fight, maggot.
because I've got more health than him, I'm trying to trigger this. I'm trying to get him hit as much as possible. So now these two are forced to run into this, which means one of them are going to die, which is going to trigger that again, which takes him down to 3. So if I can kill as many of these as possible, so I need to push this way. Now, if I destroy all minions, that will trigger their death rattle and take him out. So watch this. Here we go. We're going to get very, very lucky. So that didn't work out. So I got very lucky there and the bomb managed to come out. I got through that one on a wing of a prayer a bit. So okay, what we got now? So we've got legends. At the end of your turn, put all minions from your deck into the battlefield. Put a minion from your deck. Draw 3 cards and put any minions you draw. Yeah, that's pretty good. Strike, not so much. So we'll take the legends.
That isn't one of mine.
Destroy a friendly minion and draw 3 cards. Right, so he can destroy his own minions.
Darius versus Experiment 3C.
I am in position. Nice.
So I'm actually going to toss all 3 of these. All 3 of them, none of them are really any good. I probably could keep the Cruel Taskmaster to take out a low health one, but I've now got 2 unstable ghouls, which could be quite fun. So we'll put the unstable ghoul down, end the turn. That needs to go.
Get in there and fight, maggot.
Don't want him out on the board causing problems. That's exactly the reason why he went. Right, okay, so that's going to reduce that to 2. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fire off the cannon. I'm then going to put the Cruel Taskmaster down. And then I'm going to fire that off. We're going to put the unstable ghoul down. And then we're going to end turn there. So he's probably going to go for this and trigger this next. I hope he does, because the moment he hits that... Oh, he went for that one instead. Still the same result, though. So now, where the position of this cannon is again, I ideally need it over this way. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to fire the cannon off once. I'm then going to fire the cannon off again. I then use the Cruel Taskmaster, take him, stick in 3. So now I can actually get Yasari the Unraged out. Ravaging Hyena needs to go ideally. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put Yasari out. I'm then going to hit him. And then I'm going to end turn. And he's going to put a minion out.
Back to work.
Cruel Taskmaster. Could have been a bit of a nicer minion, to be fair. So I got to look to take that out. So he's destroyed that and he's drawn some cards because he's running out of card draw, which is absolutely fantastic for me. So I'm just going to fire off that cannon, bring out the taunt. I know which one I'm going for straight away. So I'm going to put 10 in there. I'm going to stick another 2 in. And I'm going to get yet another minion out on the battlefield. Oh, the Lich King. That's right, so this guy needs to go. So I'm going to look at taking him out. He's destroyed him and he's drawn some more cards. So now we're sitting on an 8-8. So just going to get rid of that. Get rid of that. Fire off 12. Fire off my cannon. They're going to end my turn. Yasara's still out, so I've got in the room for one more.
It's time for a little blood.
He boned me. What a card. But So I'm going to damage that. And then I'm going to put King Mosh down and then get rid of him. So yeah, that was a bit of a let off for me there. So that needs to go. So I'm on 10 mana.
Behold the armies of Stormwind. Job's done.
So we've got some players down on the board now. So that's a 2-2. That's now a 3-4. That's good, he can have that. So I'm just going to bash him in the face because I don't like him. I'm also going to bash him in the face. That's going to put 9, 7, 6, and then another 7, and that's lethal. So it's not always that easy. But we've taken him out pretty darn easily there. So I'm now picking another passive, so I can either summon an extra cannon, or I can take this amalgamate. Now, because I'm using my cannons so much, and it reduces the cost by 2 of all my cards, I am going to take the Grizzled Reinforcer, which is a very strong card. So now we're looking at Vanguard. I've got plenty of those. I've already got a Ysara. I've already got a Varin Wine. And I haven't got a Ragnaros Fire Lord, but can I live without it? I think, in all honesty, out of all of these, Legends is probably the best for me to take, so I'm just going to double up on some cards. So, she summons 3 Wisps, which you need to keep off the board. The reason for that is because she buffs them to 5/5s, and they are next to impossible to get rid of. So if you leave 1 Wisp on the board, it can potentially get buffed to a 5/5 and cause you an awful lot of problems.
I am in position.
Agatha's curse devours. I must save my children.
So we're going to get rid of those 2 and keep the Unstable Ghoul, because I can put that down straight away. So yeah, I got some good cards. This is like a 10 mana card, so it can get reduced nice and quickly, which I'm looking for. Not so bad. So we're going to put that down. Now she's probably going to trigger that straight away, which she is. Now where my cannon is at the moment is absolutely perfect because I can take 2 out. So yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fire off that cannon. And then I'm going to get rid of that. Right, so they're gone. That's what I want to be... Right, he needs to go. So she's going to summon Wisps and she's going to trigger that. But that's not going to do her any favours because that's now going to hit all of those and take them back out again. So what I'm now going to do is I'm going to fire this off. Get rid of that. And now I'm going to put the taunt down. See, I'm lining myself up to get rid of her Wisps every time. Now, where this stands at the moment, I can't do it. I've got to move the cannon, but she's done it for me. So, what I'm now going to do is fire off my cannons. That gets rid of 2. I was expecting that buff, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fire that off again, and I'm going to sacrifice the Cruel Taskmaster. So I've sacrificed the Cruel Taskmaster. So she's done 3 to me as well, but she's triggered all of her secrets. Now she's triggering all of her Wisps again. Now at the moment... Now this makes things a bit more interesting now, because she's looking to go straight in for the buffs. So, if I put my enemy Berserker down, it takes her down to there, but it doesn't get rid of her Wisps. So... I need to do this. I need to fire off both of my cannons. And I'm going to take this one.
Here there is no light.
So that one always needs to be taken out last. Right, so she's now got the Death Rattle that returns these all to her hand. Now she's got a sizable force on here. So... that's now returned that to her hand. That one's died. That's returned that to her hand for a 0. So I've just taken 2 to the face. Now you can see the position of my cannon here at the moment. I want it in between. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the dragon down. That's going to draw me an extra card. And I'm now going to fire off my cannon. That gets rid of those 2. So I'm going to have to do this and buff her cards, which I want to try and avoid. And then I'm going to hit that, and that leaves her with only 1 card on the board.
Here there is no light.
So ideally, that one needs to go first, he says. She's now summoning her wisps again. Right, so that she's taking herself out of the game here. So this is now a 4 bash. So what I've got to look at here is taking out as many of these wisps. And at the moment, my cannon's going to hit that, which is no good to me. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to do that. I'm going to fire off my cannon, which takes 1 out. And if I take her out like that, it's going to give all of those extra attack. So I'm going to take that one. I'm going to have to do it because I've got no choice. So there we go. So this is where she turns them into a 5-5.
Come out.
So I need to start getting rid of some of these wisps. So he's now an 8-7. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bash that. I'm going to drop him down on the board there. And you know what? Just to gain control of the board, I'm just going to sacrifice the Obsidian Destroyer. So he's a problem at the moment.
Here there is no light.
He's a massive problem at the moment.
Put this apple on your head.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this one down, and there's a reason for it. I want minions on the board. But it's done completely opposite to what I wanted it to do. So I'm just going to go for the extra powder here. See, I didn't want it to do that. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take him out. I'm happy to leave the 2 1s on. Right, so now that's gone to 3 2s. So he's going to use one of these to get rid of this, and then he's going to put 9 into my face.
My shield for Argus.
And he's now buffed that, so he's going to go 10 in my face straight away. So now I'm in a little bit of trouble here. There's no point putting the lowly squire down. Ragnaros the Fire Lord might help me, but I have to take out this and then this. So I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go Ragnaros. I'm also going to put on my weapon. Yeah, I think I'll take him.
For the glory of
I'll take him. I'll trade that one. I'll take the 2 face damage. Then I'll go end turn. And then Ragnaros did that for me, which is nice. So she's summoning 3 wisps again, but she can only attack with 2. Yeah. So she's drawing cards again, so I need to get rid of some of these guys. Right, okay, so I'm going to do the Pristine Compass.
Help us find our way out.
Now, this has actually worked to my advantage. So I'm going to take that one. I'm going to take that one. And then I'm going to take that one. And then I think what I'm going to do is, just for laughs...
One day, I'll be a real knight.
And then we'll put that in.
For the glory of Stormwind.
So now I'm starting to break her face. And then I got that as well. And then Ragnaros is putting in 8. And she's going to do it again. She's playing a bit dirty now. I think she's quite upset with me.
Will become ours.
And she stole my Ragnaros. That is just disgusting. That should not be allowed. So this is quite a good battle here, and I'm only on 13. So if she hits me in the face, I'm pretty much done. And yeah, she's moved Ragnaros so far over that I can't actually do anything here. And that's pretty much my game over. Because, yeah.
Behold the armies of Stormwind.
Defend the gates!
All he's got to do is hit me with this and I'm done. Right, okay, so that changes things. I have the opportunity to take out Ragnaros, which is great. So what I'm going to do here is... I'm just going to fire off my cannon a couple of times. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take him. It's triggered off a secret, which is not what I wanted to happen. Which means I've now got to sacrifice 2. Yeah. So there we go, we'll put a Sludge Belcher down. And I've basically got rid of all of her cards. And I'm still drawing. So she's summoning her 3 Wisps again. They're getting buffed now. Which I wanted to try and avoid. So now these guys are all sitting on 2/2s. So before I fire off that, I'm just going to hit those. And then I'm going to put the Sludge Belcher down. And I'm going to use him to take out that one. That one's going to take out that one. And then I'm going to hit 10 into her face. And then I'm going to get another minion on the board. So it's not going to do her any good. Because it's instantly going to die. And she's taken another 5 to the face. All she can basically do now is summon her Wisps. So I just put Ysara down. The reason why I'm putting her there is because I want a cannon there. And I'm now going to start doing serious damage to her face. Just controlling the gameplay. There's nothing she can really do to combat me now. Because I've got constant card draw. So she's put the cannon exactly where it needs to go. Right in between. So yeah, she's put one in. Unfortunately the cannon's now moved, but it's not too much of an issue because I have got lethal. So there's 13, there's 5, there's my 8. Job done. So to be honest with you, that's not really how I would normally handle a Darius Crowley deck. I would look for an Enrage or Pirate deck, but it worked out really well.
A hollow victory. I am one with this wood, and not so easily stopped.
Right, so you can see I picked the Crystal Gem because I had a lot of high level cards at the time, and I picked quite a few Legends. Tactical Reinforcement is always a good one because it reduces the cost of cards in your hand. I mean, things like Ysara, very strong. Even Varian Rhine, very strong. King Mosh I used a couple of times. The Lich King, Ragnaros not so much, but I did use the Obsidian Destroyer. The Pristine Compass unfortunately only came up once, and when it did, it picked me pretty awful cards. I wouldn't normally pick that one. I'd usually pick the Brass Lantern. But in short, guys, I kind of stumbled through on a live 8 out of 8 run, but as I say, I would normally pick a pirate deck or an enraged deck or something like that, because pirates synergize really well with the cannon. But if you do find yourself struggling, try and pick stuff that's gonna protect your face a lot. Grizzled Reinforcer is always a strong card with that extra cannon coupled in with a tactical reinforcement, because you're firing it twice, so effectively you're reducing your cards by 4. Guys, you may notice that there's a Sneak logo in the top right hand corner of my screen. I'm not affiliated with them. This is not a paid advertisement, but basically I use the product. It's a natural energy drink that hasn't got the nasty chemicals in of Red Bull and Monster, and it's designed specifically for gamers, so there will be a link in the description. Also, there's a link in the description to my Twitch channel. Please come and check me out. I play World of Tanks, Hearthstone, Tomb Raider, you name it, I pretty much play it. But guys, if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel yet, there's a new look to it. I've just revamped the whole channel, so please check it out. But for now, and at the moment, obviously, please be safe.